What is going on, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and one thing I'm going to try to do with the channel is put together a weekly recap every Sunday, just talking about a lot of the stuff that happened in the game over the last week, and this is for those of you out there who maybe missed some of my previous videos. So we're going to start with the most recent information, and if you happen to enjoy this video, do me a favor really quick and hit that like button, and if you want to stay up to speed on all things The First Descendant, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button as well. So first of all, we're going to go over some information the game passed along yesterday, and they said known issues have been updated. And as you can see, they said the following: they have identified an issue where the server connection is intermittently disrupt with an NE4003 error on the loading screen. We have applied a patch to prevent this issue and plan to continue stability improvements moving forward. Now, one thing we've talked about multiple times at the channel, especially over the last week, is how, in my opinion at least, and let me know your thoughts, how quickly the game is not only addressing these issues, but they're actually implementing fixes at a really rapid rate. I mean, look, we've only been about 10 days into this game, and while we did see some major server issues upon launch, not only did they handle that pretty quickly, they also compensated the player base. This is something as gamers, look, we're not really used to a game really stepping up to the plate, and again, to be fair, it's Nexon. And as you've heard me say time and time again, it's going to take them a while to truly earn the trust back from the community. I mean, there's a lot of work that needs to be done there, but they seem to be moving in the right direction. Once again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, or if you are dealing with issues I don't address in this video, please let me know as well. For me, just from where I'm sitting, I'm having a lot of fun with this game. You know, I'm taking my time. I just unlocked White Knight Gulch, and for those of you that have been asking, I did post a video this morning just highlighting some of my favorite early game weapons that you definitely want to pick up as quickly as possible. If you missed that, I'll leave that in the video description as well. But as I've said before multiple times, I'm just having a ton of fun playing this game. I mean, that's it. You know, it's really enjoyable. I look forward to logging in, trying to get new items, new weapons, level up different descendants. Let me know what your gameplay is like, and as always, I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Now at this point, my friends, I want to revisit some of the previous videos I posted this week, just going over other information the game has passed along. Again, they continue to bring us details pretty much on a daily basis. And for the record, I have gone over this information in previous videos, but for those of you that may have missed it, consider this your weekly recap. So first of all, we're going to talk about people cheating in the game, and this is something I said previously. The team over at The First Descendant has started a major crackdown on people manipulating the game and cheating, and why you'd want to cheat in a PvE game makes no sense. Any cheating whatsoever makes no sense. It's idiotic. But anyway, you can see on screen, and this is from something that was captured the other day. And unfortunately, for many players out there, you encounter something on a daily basis that just makes the game unplayable. Whether it's someone using software to get an upper hand, which means every time you try to shoot something, it's already dead, which makes the game pretty damn boring. Or you run into players when you jump into a mission or a world activity and they go AFK just so they can collect the loot or the different rewards, whatever it is you're farming for, which is just as jacked up, and I will talk about that in a moment. But the first thing I'd like to get into is what the game talked about in regard to cheating, and you can see they did say the following. Greetings, Descendants. Here are the results of the crackdown on abusive users carried out between July 5th and July 11th. We are inspecting abusive gaming behavior to ensure that all Descendants can enjoy the game in a pleasant environment. If you notice any abnormal or abusive behavior while playing the game, please report it through the in-game reporting feature. And keep in mind as I say that, you know, don't report someone, let's say they're really not that great at what they're doing. This feature is for legitimate complaints, not whether or not you like someone's build, so don't, you know, abuse it, things like that. Anyway, you can see as of my recording this, creation, distribution, or use of unauthorized programs, there's been a permanent game ban of 3,481 users, and I can pretty much promise you we will continue to see that number increase. Next, we have abnormal gameplay. There are 639 people who did receive a 30-day ban. And finally, we have the exploitation of all things related to the open store. Actions were taken because of unfair gains by exploitation of the store payment process. Now, what they're referring to are people who will make in-game purchases, and what they do at that point, once they've gotten that extra XP or they're using whatever it is they're using in the game, they will contact their credit card and say, hey, guess what? I didn't make this purchase. They wind up getting a credit, and then the game gets a chargeback. And as soon as that happens for something you've purchased, they're going to flag your account. And, you know, there were 608 people who have been, you know, banned at this point. Now, one thing I want to point out really quick, and this is for those of you out there who may not know, anytime you buy something in the game, you got to check your inbox for that item. Typically, that is where you're going to find it. So for me, I bought the season pass. I didn't think it showed up, and then upon checking my inbox, that is when I discovered the purchase had just been sitting there for probably 2 or 3 hours, and I didn't think I got it, but I did. That's user error right there. Now all you do is go to your main menu, scroll over to the shop, check your inbox. Hopefully everything you purchased is there, and if not, please let me know and I will try to get you answers as quick as I can. Now they finish off by saying the outcome of the crackdown on abusive users includes enforcement actions taken based on Descendant's reports and monitoring. Now for some reason, if you feel you were banned and you did nothing wrong whatsoever, you can reach out to the game directly, let them know what's going on. I will leave a link to that in the video description down below, because unfortunately for some players, like legitimately, they purchased something in the game, nothing showed up for days at a time, so they wind up reaching out to the platform in which they made the purchase on. So let's say you bought something on Steam, you reach out to Steam and say, hey, guess what, Nexon didn't get me what I paid for. Steam gives you your money back. Then 2 days after that, Nexon finally delivers your purchase, but at that point it's too late. You've gotten your money back from Steam, so Nexon thinks you did a chargeback, which you didn't do. And look, as long as you have your receipts, you'll be able to show exactly what happened and when it took place. And for the record, I have heard from people out there saying that they were banned because of that. They reached out. Everything is totally fine at this point. And for those of you out there who are still encountering an issue in regard to that, please let me know. I will try to get you answers. Next, we're going to talk about players going AFK. Now, I posted a video the other day talking about it, and one thing I noticed in the comment section of that video is for many players, you didn't really witness people doing that. Now, for those of you that may not know, AFK does stand for away from keyboard, and basically it means people are jumping into the game and doing nothing whatsoever. They're just standing in one spot, they are collecting the mission rewards and the XP, and they're just wasting everyone's time. It's just a pain in the ass. In fact, about an hour back, I received a comment from someone saying, I wonder if they're going to ban those losers that go AFK in defense missions. Now, over the last few days, I have pulled different articles I've seen online in regard to this topic, one of which says the following. AFKing players has been a big problem within the community. In the replies, one user asked, I don't get why people AFK in games like this. Isn't the whole point to grind? To which another user simply explained, you get the same reward as everyone else, even if you AFK. People are farming the quest rewards, not the random drops from enemies. The article continues by saying, while few in the comments are in favor of the vote to kick, many replies are firmly against the option because it will always be used in toxic ways. Naysayers argue vote to kick would be used more often to kick people from the character they are playing, or their level, or their build, than to kick people who are actually going AFK. Now, please do me a favor, let me know in the comments section, what are your thoughts? I mean, look, I can see both sides of this coin, because we all know based on past experiences with different games, this is a feature that can be greatly abused, and we don't want to see that happen. Moving on with the article, it says in the comments, comparisons are made to Helldivers 2. The Arrowhead shooter doesn't have a vote to kick system, but the host is able to kick players, resulting in many complaints that said system is being abused by toxic hosts. As far as how to fix the dilemma with AFK players, one user said Nexon just needs to add some AFK checks like button prompts, movement checks, or enemy damage checks. And you can see another user said, hey, let's give the player the ability to mark someone AFK if they haven't moved for 10 seconds. I think that's kind of a gray area. I think that could lead to people being marked when they shouldn't need to. And finally, at the bottom, the article finishes by saying, in addition to the above ideas, players have suggested that Nexon should follow in the steps of Warframe. Per the comments, you don't get rewards for the rounds you are AFK too much in Warframe, which result in a much better and fairer player experience. Once again, my friends, let me know your thoughts on the subject in the comment section down below. I haven't run into too many players going AFK, but to be honest with you, I haven't really been paying too much attention. I've heard from a lot of you out there who said you do deal with this on a daily basis, so let me know your thoughts and I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Now, I think one thing we can all agree on is the fact that we all want to see a marketplace in this game, and you're looking at an article from Gamer Rant magazine, a Q&A that they had with the team over at The First Descendant. Again, I will leave a link to that article down below. And they ask, you've mentioned before that there will be a trading system. Are there any sort of considerations so it doesn't get abused? And the game responds by saying, we are working on the trading system and how to give things away as well. We are planning on implementing it once the service stabilizes to the point where we can add it. And I think that's a really good thing, because right now, look, there are people who still haven't gotten their Twitch drops. Not to mention the fact that people are still waiting on Caliber that they purchased a while back. I think introducing something into the game before other things are worked out would be a big mistake. And while we all want to see that marketplace as soon as possible, frankly, there are more important things that need to be dealt with first. Server stability, making sure people actually get what they pay for. I mean, that's kind of important as well. So again, once I have more information, I will pass that along. That now takes us to the next question, which is, I've followed a lot of looter games. There are a lot of successes, but some have not been so successful. Did the development team pay attention to those successes and those failures? Now, the game responds by saying, as a development team that's making a looter shooter game for the first time, we do look to Destiny for reference, Warframe and so on. And they also mention the fact that they are paying attention to how Warframe has dealt with their community, and that's something they want to emulate, because and that's a really good thing, because look, when it comes to Warframe, you cannot have a free-to-play game that has been around as long as they have unless you're doing something right. So I sincerely hope the team over at The First Descendant takes a few pages out of their book and actually gives us things we're looking for. Last but not least today, my friends, I want to talk about the timeline that we have at this moment. So we can see early August, we're going to get the new Descendant Luna. We're going to have a new Colossus Gluttony. There's a new Ultimate Valby, new Ultimate Weapon, and a new skin as well. In late August, we're going to see the start of the first season. Remember, we are in the preseason right now, and with Season 1, there will be 3 updates. Season 1 episode Invasion, Season Progression, Field Completion. There will be a new Descendant and a new Descendant story, and for those of you that may not know, the current Descendant story we have in the game is for Bunny. All you need to use is Bunny as your character. Go over to quests. You will see it there as you continue through the story arc. Season 1 is also going to include a new Colossus and dungeon, new weapon, new skin, new Ultimate Descendant as well. Finally, we make our way to Season 2, which will be in early December. Once again, there will be 3 updates, and that is going to include a new Mega Dungeon, Utility Companion, Season Progression, new Descendant and Descendant story. We'll be getting a new Colossus and a new dungeon as well. New weapon, new skin, new Ultimate Descendant. So look, in my opinion, and please let me know your thoughts, if the game can actually adhere to the schedule, continue to work on fixes that need to be really made a priority, listen to the player base, I think we're sitting pretty good because the content looks pretty decent. And again, these are just my thoughts. We seem to have a recipe for a really, really good game and a really good future. Hopefully the game does not f it up. And with all that being said, I want to take a moment as always and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. I sincerely appreciate the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.